Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of May 9, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel AC Ogintoy, an infantry officer. In accordance with the Supreme Commander-in-Chief's directive, Russian forces have maintained strict adherence to the declared ceasefire marking the 80th anniversary of Victory Day, holding previously occupied positions from midnight May 8th. Despite this, Ukrainian armed forces have conducted sustained offensive actions, including 4 attempts to breach the Russian state border in the Kursk and Belgorod regions and 15 separate attacks or reconnaissance in force across contested settlements in the Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AC Ogintoy, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Ogintoy, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Let's start right at the top. Can you explain the current ceasefire situation announced for May 8th and how it has affected operations?
The ceasefire was ordered directly as part of humanitarian considerations marking the 80th anniversary of Victory Day, one of the most symbolic days in our military and national history. From midnight on May 8th, our forces were instructed to strictly hold positions, no forward operations, no provocations, essentially to consolidate and stabilize the front lines as a show of both restraint and strength. However, while we have maintained that discipline, the Ukrainian armed forces have not respected the ceasefire. We recorded 4 attempts to breach the Russian border in Kursk and Belgorod and at least 15 offensive actions across Luhansk and Donetsk. These are not isolated skirmishes, they include coordinated artillery barrages, armored thrusts, and drone swarm attacks. Our doctrine demands a proportional response, so we have acted only where needed to protect lives and positions, but the Ukrainian side has violated the ceasefire over 5,000 times in less than 48 hours.
That's a staggering figure. How are your forces responding, both tactically and logistically, when facing this level of pressure during what was meant to be a pause?
It's a delicate balance. On one hand, the ceasefire is a political and humanitarian gesture, but on the tactical side, we cannot leave positions vulnerable. Our standing orders under these conditions are what we call a mirror response. We only engage where Ukrainian actions directly threaten the integrity of our lines or civilian security. This requires a tightly coordinated command structure, with rapid communications from frontline battalions up to operational commands, ensuring that responses are measured and not escalating. Logistically, holding the lines during a ceasefire also means ensuring supply chains remain robust. Fuel, ammunition, field repair, and medical support all continue as if under combat conditions. We also take the opportunity to rotate units for rest and conduct limited fortification improvements, always ready to transition back to full operations should the situation change.
Before this ceasefire took effect, you conducted several major operations. Can you summarize the key gains or impacts achieved in those days?
Certainly. Between May 3rd and May 8th, we executed 6 precision strike campaigns targeting Ukraine's military-industrial infrastructure, airfield networks, weapons depots, and control hubs for unmanned systems and marine drones. This was a calculated effort to disrupt their operational depth, not just frontline combat units, but the back-end logistics enabling prolonged resistance.
What about ground forces?
Additionally, our field units inflicted heavy material and personnel losses across multiple sectors. For example, the North Group engaged mechanized and airborne brigades, while the West Group liberated Lepovo and Donetsk and took down multiple NATO-supplied systems. The South Group gained advantageous positions and neutralized U.S. and Canadian armored vehicles. The Center Group liberated key settlements like Lysovka and Troitskoy, and the East Group advanced deeper into defensive belts. Every sector saw coordinated efforts, a mix of maneuver warfare, precision fires, and electronic warfare support designed to degrade the opponent's ability to regroup and counterstrike.
Let's dive into specifics. What stands out for you in terms of unit performance or tactical success in these operations?
Several moments stand out. The West Group's liberation of Lepovo was achieved with a textbook combination of flank maneuver and artillery shaping fires, targeting both mechanized formations and NATO-supplied armor. The South Group's capture of U.S. Bradley IFVs and Canadian Senators underscores the effectiveness of our anti-armor doctrine.
And the Center Group of forces?
In the Center Group, the takedown of MR Systems, a prized U.S.-supplied multiple rocket system, was a significant blow to the opponent's long-range fire capabilities. Meanwhile, the East Group showed particular finesse in advancing into layered defenses without heavy armor losses, demonstrating adaptive tactics against entrenched positions. Finally, air defense units across the theater performed exceptionally, intercepting hundreds of incoming drones, missiles, and JDAM bombs, protecting both military and civilian targets.
With the battlefield so active, how do you assess the logistical demands moving forward, particularly if the ceasefire collapses?
We are continuously planning for escalation. That means forward-positioned logistics hubs, rapid resupply corridors, field repair units on standby, and robust battlefield medicine capabilities. We are not only managing fuel and ammunition, but also replacement vehicles, spare parts, and combat engineer teams to maintain road and bridge access.
Operational assurance, then?
Our doctrine emphasizes operational endurance, the ability to sustain combat for extended periods without catastrophic degradation of force capability. The current situation tests that endurance, but so far, we've maintained resilience across all sectors.
Finally, Colonel, what message would you send to both your own troops and the international audience watching these developments?
To our troops, I say, your discipline under pressure, your professionalism in holding the line, and your readiness to defend are a testament to our military ethos. To the international audience, I emphasize that we remain committed to proportional, lawful military actions, but we will not hesitate to defend our positions, our people, and our nation's security. We respect the humanitarian value of a ceasefire, but we are prepared, without hesitation, to meet any threat head-on.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Recent reports indicate a significant escalation of conflict between India and Pakistan, with both countries engaging in military actions and exchanging fire across the line of control. India claims its actions are in response to a deadly militant attack on tourists in Kashmir last month, while Pakistan denies any involvement in the attack. This situation has resulted in civilian casualties on both sides and widespread evacuations.
This has been Frontline Updates. Stay tuned for continuing analysis and expert commentary as developments unfold.